Hello and welcome, my Gemini, Libra and Aquarius friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching this video. This is going to be a group reading for my air sign zodiac friends, where we're going to explore the year to come. As we end 2019 and head into 2020, this is the perfect time to do some forward planning and mapping. And tarot is a fantastic tool to do so. And that's what we're going to do in this reading today. Many of you may have remembered in October I did a mapping session for Halloween. We're going to do something similar. However, I've modified the spread. So this is the spread that I'm going to be using for the reading. Not only am I going to be looking at that month and obstacle, we're going to start to highlight and focus in on some of the blessings. These blessings are going to be key because sometimes we have challenges and obstacles in the month and we can kind of feel overwhelmed. The blessings help us overcome that. During my reading here, I'm not going to flip back between spread and card. I'm just going to focus in on the cards because there are 3 different cards for each month and then also the year. The card for the month or year, the obstacle, and then the blessing. I'm going to keep it flowing more fluidly with just focusing in on the cards. Now the decks I chose for this reading, I'm going to be using the Smith-Waite Tarot. It's a Centennial edition. And then I'm going to be doing the blessings with the Energy Oracle. Like always, there are links below to both these fantastic decks. So should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. All right, my air sign zodiac friends, let's see what 2020 is going to hold for you. What card symbolizes 2020? It's a fantastic card to have. We are going to wear a condom hat and dance on our toes. That balancing act. That's going to be the overall card of your year. Is trying to maintain that dance and keep all the balls, because we have more than 2, in the air. Now this card's really exciting because it has this weird kind of ribbony band in the infinity symbol. It's ensuring that we spend equal amounts of time and energy on all aspects of our lives, no matter how topsy-turvy the situation becomes or feels. Let's look at the challenge. What challenge does my air sign zodiac friends face in 2020? Besides wearing the dumb hat. Pam has some amazing hats, by the way. It's just as a side. This deck is very much connected into Pamela Coleman Smith, and it features many of her pieces of artwork that aren't in other decks. So I really enjoy her hat choices. Our main challenge, the 8 of Cups, that inward journey. Fearing, resisting, or diving too deep into like those inner journeys that aren't warranted. Sometimes we recluse ourselves and really hyper-focus and hyper-vigilant on that inner journey, or we'll avoid it. We're really good at multitasking and juggling how we attack this challenge. It just really depends on where our ego is playing and how it's going to impact whether or not we avoid or super dive in. So that's kind of our year, is that balancing act and really being mindful of our inner journey and our inner reflection. Let's move on to a blessing. What blessing can my air sign zodiac friends, good jumper, embrace in 2020? Door to value. When we are really able to maintain our balance and maintain whether or not we should or should not be on, and being very mindful of where we're at in our inner journeys, we are going to find the ability to manifest and create abundance in our lives. In, again, many different aspects, not just financially. Yes, some of it will be that prosperity, that monetary piece that we need. Other pieces, you're going to start to see that value shift into different areas. That spiritual growth, the emotional maturity and growth. all aspects of our lives, not only just the physical piece. All right, let's dive into 2020 a bit more. Let's start in January. What card symbolizes January for my air sign zodiac friends? The Nine of Cups. It's a fantastic card, and it brings us, again, like I said, and now everybody's going to be focusing in on the hats. Pamela Coleman Smith had some amazing hats. The Nine of Cups talks about that abundance. Again, we're talking about some of it being that monetary abundance, but more importantly, that emotional and spiritual abundance that we have in our lives. January is going to give us a time to really reflect on that and reflect on how we want this to take this forward. How can we, again, create more? We're looking at that balance piece, but we're also looking at the ability to open more doors, create more abundance, and manifest what it is we need in our lives. We're going to start that off on day 1. Let's look at our challenge. What challenge do my air sign zodiac friends face in January? Okay, we've got a jumper. And that's the Star. She's the 17th card in the Major Arcana. She's fantastic. Again, we're looking at that balance, so we're going to feel a little bit unbalanced in January. So our Two of Pentacles is really going to be needed to come in, because she's a grounding. She's balancing between the earth and the water, so her physical and her spiritual and emotional, and those energy levels again. So they're going to be a little bit of a challenge, because we're also looking at the Star being your hopes and dreams card. We're going to really be limited by focusing in on what we think our hopes and dreams should be. Like I said, we need to forward plan. Those hopes and dreams are very limited to what our scope of reality is. Our scope of reality is nowhere near what the universe can offer us. Those limited views really put wedges in how open these doors can go. Because with a limited view, you can only open it a smidge. Releasing some of those preconceived notions of what our hopes and dreams should be will help us really be able to swing those doors open. The universe will start to say, oh, they need more stability in their finances. Let's swing open the doors. Let's find other very creative and unique ways that more monetary prosperity can come in. Oh, they want to work on their creativity. Again, leaving it open-ended rather than in that finite view will swing open those doors. So the biggest piece is going to be limiting ourselves to our own reality. We need to open it up a little bit more so that we can really broaden this table and our view of what that abundance can look like. Let's look at a blessing. What blessing can my air sign zodiac friends embrace in January? Broken Heart, the 9th card in the Oracle cards. So what you're looking at is past experiences, past rejections, past lower vibrational events and feelings coming forward and trying to damper this. It's more of a cautionary oracle. I like the energy oracle because the energy oracle doesn't all have these poofy, lighty type fairy dust and rainbow type cards. It does bring in some of these very grassroots and lower vibrational energies to balance it out. So that low vibrational energy will start to try to misdirect you. Don't be surprised if those inner journeys come up right about now. Misdirect and mislead you. Your ego will be coming into play because we're focusing on forward going, making those abundant and manifestation skills work for you. That's scary to the ego. So it's going to throw up those fears, those anxieties, those sadnesses so that it slows you down. acknowledging them for what they are and acknowledging it for who or what that part of you, your ego, is throwing it back in your face will help to lessen their hold on you. You can also call in Archangel Chamuel to start to help do some healing. So it takes that gun away from your ego, if you will. It's less arsenal in his toolbox. Let's move on to February. Ooh, got jumpers already. What card symbolizes February for my air sign zodiac friends? Got a couple cards. All right, the first jumper, the Nine of Pentacles. Again, we're looking at an abundance card, focusing in on that abundance piece. Now we have 3 nines here, the Nine of Cups, the 9 in the Oracle card, and then also the Pentacle. In angel numbers, when you're looking at this multiple 9, it's a time to work on your life's purpose, your soul's deeper purpose. This abundance piece helps to raise your vibration. And that vibration will help you with that manifestation piece, help you strengthen your stability. And that's what we're looking at right off the hop in the beginning of the year, is strengthening that foundation piece. The Nine of Pentacles really wants to work on that root system so that you can have a lot more abundance. We know abundance is 2020 for us. So focusing in on that abundance piece. The Nine of Pentacles will help really strengthen your root system. So it goes back down to that balance. That grounding aspect is going to be really essential for you to move forward. With the 9, jump the Wheel of Fortune. Talks about those seasonal changes. We need to make some more shifts so that we can truly embrace a more balanced and stable environment. Really working on raising our vibration so that we can manifest and create in our lives. All right, let's look at the challenge. What challenge will my air sign zodiac friends face in February? Sorry, the Lovers. The love month is our challenge, will be the Lovers. So the Lovers are the 6th card in the major arcana, and it does speak about that relationship. And no, it does not mean your partner is going to be your Achilles heel for February. And no, it does not mean you're going to have a hard month. It just means, again, we go back to that balance piece. We really need to balance out our relationship with that kind of spiritual and emotional growth. And it's more of a spiritual emotional growth because we are looking at some foundations for that manifestation skill. Focusing in and literally focusing in on that physical aspect of your relationship will actually help you out because it starts to help you raise your vibration, that connection to another individual. Now, if you don't have a relationship or an intimate partner, February will be a time where you really need to focus in on balancing your energies and time between yourself and putting yourself out there, because February is a time, it's kind of the love month of the year. So focusing in on a bit more on that, giving yourself some very intentional time and energy to focus in on putting yourself out there. Let's look at a blessing. What blessing can my air sign zodiac friends embrace in February? Caring connections. Like I said, that intimate relationship can actually support and strengthen and raise your vibration. Having that special somebody, or even just a very connected in friend, someone who loves you for you. It's that intimate relationship, and it doesn't have to be a physical relationship. It's somebody who knows you for you and supports and loves you for who you truly are. It's that positive relationship that we're looking at. Let's go on to March. What card, oh, got a jumper, symbolizes March for my air sign? 2 jumpers. Zodiac friends. 3 jumpers. 4. We're getting jumper-tastic in March. Okay. So the first card that jumped out, the Page of Pentacles. Pages are that childlike, innocent energy. This one's connected into the Pentacles, which is Earth. We're looking at that exploration of your physical world that is going to really help out with your connection into that stability. When you start to explore and enjoy your environment, you start to stabilize and strengthen yourself. Your root system really takes hold because you are embracing and loving your environment. And I don't mean become an environmentalist. I mean going out for walks. Start to really enjoy the spring. We're looking at March. Now, depending on where you are will depend on your snow level. But embracing your environment, your community, so that you can strengthen that root system. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles. This is the Mother Earth card. Again, it connects back into that nature and that importance of grounding and really getting your hands into that nurturing and loving energy. Whether it be through gardening, through your crystal collection, but that hands-on connection to the earth is going to be fantastic to help stabilize and strengthen that relationship with the ground. Again, March also offers us that ability for that nurturing energy. Balancing it out, we're putting it in the physical world, you also need to balance it back to you. That nurturing, caring relationship with yourself is going to be key. With it, there was a number of jumpers, I won't lie. The 8 of Wands. It's a movement card. These wands, and it's hard to tell, they're in motion from the heavens to the earth. The universe is sending us messages to help us keep us going, to really ignite. This is a wand. It's about that inner fire and passion, to ignite our passions, to ignite those creative, passionate center of ourselves. And that's what's going to really happen in March. As we connect into our community, as we connect in and nurture ourselves, we're going to start to get some ideas and thoughts. Our creativity is really going to start to flourish and go. Nurturing that aspect as well. Again, like I said, it's not just 2 balls you have in play. You've got multiple aspects of yourself that you need to nurture, you need to connect in with, and you need to intentionally give it energy and time to work on it. And the final card that jumped out, another 9, the 9 of Swords. It is really easy to become overwhelmed when we're looking at such a grand piece. Connecting in with community, connecting in with self, we can start to feel overwhelmed, especially depending on how February rolled for us and that connection piece. To compound this, we're looking at March. March is, in some cases, a cold month that doesn't have a lot of light. That seasonal affective disorder is a very real piece for many people. That connection into those sads and anxiety feelings, those worries, are going to come up in March. Acknowledging them, and it goes back down to that self-care piece. What it is you need to overcome those fears and that sadness. It's not so much of an obstacle as it is going to be giving you new coping mechanisms for dealing with something that is a lifelong situation. We're emotional beings, so we do have those sads, those worries, those fears. We need the coping mechanisms to overcome them. Let's look at what the challenge is. What challenge do my air sign zodiac friends face in March? The Ace of Swords. There There are going to be situations and events that stick with us more than others. Some of them will feel very, very harsh and that they cut very deep, really aggravating some existing pieces in our lives. And we all have those existing, if you will, burdens or challenges. And it's going to be up to us to overcome them. We need to be able to strengthen ourselves so that we are able to gain the knowledge we need to continually overcome those, like I said, those emotional aspects of ourselves. Let's look at a blessing. What blessing can my air sign zodiac friends embrace in March? Deceit. And it talks about, because again, we're dealing with people in February, it talks about that importance of being able to acknowledge how other people impact us, and most importantly, how we like to deceive ourselves. How our ego likes to come up and really wriggle its head, and we're starting to look at those sadder, darker aspects of ourselves, because those sad feelings, those worries, they do impact us. We do need to acknowledge them for what exactly they are, so that we can start to lessen their hold on us. Now, we do have, like I said, multiple nines. We've got the 9 here, got a 9, we've got a 9, we've got 9s everywhere. Like I said before, this is a time to work on your life's deeper soul's purpose. These skills that we are going to gain in March will be very helpful. It will be kind of pokey and hard, however, very helpful. Let's go on to April. What card symbolizes April for my air sign zodiac friends? The 5 of Pentacles. 5s are always a conflictuary number. They bring in those pains and woes. The 5 of Pentacles talks about that isolation and disconnection we're feeling. Again, it goes back into this 8 of Cups, that desire to go inwards. We're going to try and isolate ourselves, especially after those pokiness of March. That 9 of Swords can really impact how we're feeling and how disconnected we kind of throw ourselves. When people are in a sad or depressive state, we recluse ourselves so that others can't hurt us. That isolation will really impact how we're feeling in April. We need to be very mindful of that balancing and grounding aspect so that we can start to feel connected in. Even if we feel disconnected from the physical world, if we have connection in on our spiritual and emotional world, and we feel like we have connection to our guides and guardian and those high vibrational beings, we don't feel so isolated. We start to feel more connected in and able to start to work with people again. Let's look at the challenge. What challenge will my air sign zodiac friends face in April? The Knight of Swords. That need to get up and go. Because let's be honest, April started to bring in those feelings that don't make us feel comfortable. We need to get away from them, not looking at that healing piece and not addressing them, because when we avoid, it feels better. We need to harness that knight's energy, that adolescent youthful energy that isn't afraid of things. Harness him and redirect him so that you can start to really look at some of those past pains that is bringing that isolation on, so that we don't feel so disconnected, that we have that ability to, yes, move. However, we are making some stronger connections within ourselves and releasing some of that negativity and lower vibrational energy. Let's look at a blessing for April. What blessing can my air sign zodiac friends embrace in April? Got a jumper? The garden and the gate. It really talks about going inwards and really focusing in at home. Things may look greener on other people's yards. Things may feel nicer when you're avoiding what's right in front of you. We need to really look at what's right in front of us, not deeply. We need to just look at that very almost superficial piece, to look at those emotions and disconnect so we can start to make those shifts, rebalancing ourselves and start to work on some of that healing aspect. When we start to nurture and really take care of ourselves, that's when our garden starts to thrive. All right, let's go on to May. What card symbolizes May for my air sign zodiac friends? Oh, got a number of jumpers. Okay, so the first one, Judgment. Judgment is the 20th card in the Major Arcana, and it talks about that connection into the universe. Listening, this is Archangel Gabriel, to Gabriel's message. And most of us know that Archangel Gabriel is the messenger archangel. Listening to that message that the universe has for us. We're going to be able to really connect in, especially if we've been focusing in on some of these pieces that help disconnect us. When we have that disconnect, we're really looking at not being able to hear what Gabriel's trying to say or pick up on those messages. And I won't lie, clairaudience, not everybody has it. It's a skill that we have to work on. So being mindful that in May, Gabriel's really going to be starting to leave messages for you. Slowing down, we need to halt this night here, slowing down so you can start to hear and see these messages. With Gabriel, jump the 10 of Pentacles. This is one of the family cards. And it's not just any family. It's not just your immediate family. We're looking at that generational family and that support and stability it provides you. And it's not just those generations that are here on earth with you right now. It's those passed on loved ones that will be able to start to support you a lot with this message that Gabriel's trying to send. And then there's 2 of Cups. This is the everyday aspect of the lovers that we saw in February. That intimate, positive relationship is going to be very supportive and key in trying to figure out that direction and kind of coming off this sadness and isolation piece that April brought you. Really connecting in, and again, we're looking at the balance. So looking at that connection to yourself and your partner, and then that connection into family, from that physical aspect to the emotional, spiritual side. Literally, it does feel like a triangle to me, where we're looking at a lot happening for you in May. May will bring you time where you can connect in on many different levels and get some direction, not only from the universe, direction in with your relationships. And again, if you don't have one, the 2 of Cups is a fantastic card to embrace for the month, to start to look at that relationship, plus those relationships with those family members who are positive and healthy for you. Let's look at the obstacle in May. What challenge and obstacle will my air sign zodiac friends face in May? Got a couple jumpers here. The Queen of Wands. Now, I love this queen because this card it was drawn in the very early 1900s. The original Rider-Waite deck came out in 1910. It was unheard of for women to sit in this position. That was very inappropriate. And I love that about her. What's going to happen, especially for my air sign zodiac friends who are not in a relationship, those very brief interludes are going to pose a a challenge. You may find that there are a couple individuals who are not looking for a long-term positive relationship with you, rather those quick and very sexual relationships. That's something to really avoid. This may brings in those connection pieces to people who will help you along the way. Those brief fleeting moments will not support you. It's your ego playing up and playing with your sacral chakra and creating that sexual tension. Along with the Queen, the Ace of Cups. Aces are all about that gift. Our intuition and that connection into the intuition is going to be amazing in May, which is going to take away those connecting pieces. When it doesn't work, that those sexual encounters, and I should say that it's not just those who are looking for a relationship. People who are in a relationship is going to find that that sexual component is going to really be predominant in May, taking away from those intimate connections. It's just not about sex, it's about that intimate, close connection. The Ace of Cups is going to give you a lot of ideas, a lot of amazing, creative, intuitional pieces. And you're going to want to get going on them because they're going to be amazing. It taps back into that very creative passion center of the Queen, and you're going to want to really push them forward. It's going to be really important that you're not focusing in on these two aspects, that you're focusing in on those connections, because those connections will help you not only throughout 2020, they will help you as we get into the decade and further along. Writing down those amazing creative aspects for later will be really helpful. All right, let's look at a blessing. What blessing can my air sign zodiac friends embrace in May? There we go. The Temple Path. And this really talks about that importance of following what Gabriel's telling you. Those very important messages from the universe. And Gabriel's being very clear with me right now. It's not messages that she personally has for you. It's messages from the universe to help you really get some spiritual growth and clarity. This is going to help with that abundance and manifestation piece that we're looking at for 2020. All right, let's keep going here. Oh, I should say we do have multiple 12s on the table. We've got the 12th card in the Oracle deck, and then we have the Knight of Swords. In angel messages, when you're looking at that multiple knight, this is a time, or multiple 12, this is a time of spiritual growth and awakening. We have the ability to really embrace some amazing changes, some amazing aspects. We need to slow down and start to really embrace them. We also have multiple queens. We have the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Wands. The queens are the 13th card in the Minor Arcana. When we have that multiple 13, the angels are telling you that this is a time to calm your mind and receive those intuitive messages and ideas. Like I said, the messages that the Ace of Cups, those creative, intuitional messages that are going to come in, will be useful. We need to write them down for a later date though. Let's go on to June. We're going to start off the summer now. What card symbolizes June for my air sign zodiac friends? The Death card. The 13th card in the Major Arcana. And it talks about releasing. Releasing things that are not working in your life. Shifting things over. Very, very much connected in to the messages that Gabriel and the universe are going to be sending you, because we do need to start to shift things. We need to start to shift and raise our vibration. Very much shifting out of this lower vibration of the early spring. Shifting from our vibrations. Now, we've got the 13th card in the Major Arcana. We just talked about the double queens. We just said you need to calm your mind to receive those intuitive messages. You are going to really be receiving a lot of messages and information on pieces that are not working in your life. Some of them may be harder and blunter than others. However, that information is going to come forward to you on what you need to start to release. Let's look at the obstacle for June. What obstacle will my air sign zodiac friends face in June? The Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is very much a decision card. You can see how we're looking out. He's got the world. This is his castle and his lands. He's very well off. He literally has the world in his hands. He's not satisfied. He's looking for his next piece, that next step. The obstacle is that we're looking at indecision and uncertainty. We tap back into the Eight of Cups here, where we're looking at possibly going inwards. So don't be surprised that if in June you all of a sudden feel like you have to do some inner work. It's going to be a time where you really acknowledge that as your ego, embracing this indecision and uncertainty, and really go back to that Death card. Receiving those intuitive messages and being really mindful of your environment so you can receive those intuitive messages and guidance on what it is you need to release. Because again, we're looking at changing, and our ego freaks out when we start to look at that word called change. What blessing can my air sign zodiac friends embrace in June? Very, very appropriate. The thinking woman. That critical thinking and reflection skills are going to be essential in June. Embracing that change modality that June brings you, and really reflecting and stopping, again, that's slowing down, stopping to think about what that uncertainty is. What is causing you to be unclear? What is it that you're unclear about? Really critically thinking and asking those questions so that you are able to do some releasing. That release stage is going to be very important and vital as you start to really try and shift your energies, because that manifestation piece we'll start to see that abundance come in. Not only will we see that, we're going to see our vibrations start to really raise and creep up there, because we are looking at creating more stability in our lives. All right, let's go on to July. What card symbolizes July for my air sign zodiac friends? It's a fantastic card, the Six of Cups. I love this. This is a dwarf. Again, we go with the very fancy hats that Pam has. A dwarf giving a small child flowers. What July is going to offer us is a time and space to reminisce. We're still doing some of this critical thinking because we need this reminiscing piece to really help us with going forward and that forward planning. Looking at all those past experiences and how you overcome challenges. Keeping it in the high vibration. We don't want to go back to those sads and worries. We want to stay in those positives so that we can start to reflect into those pieces, those abilities and skills that we may have left behind. Coping mechanisms, strategies that will help us overcome upcoming obstacles. We can gain a lot of information on reflecting back. And some of us may have the skills and abilities to reflect back into past lives and start to really embrace information, skills, and abilities that not only did we not bring with us, but we wouldn't have thought to bring with us. So many people have different levels of ability. Just reflecting back into this current lifetime will help. It will help you really reinforce and strengthen current skills and abilities And it can bring in, like I said, some that you may have forgotten. Let's look at the challenge for my air sign zodiac friends for July. The Ace of Pentacles. Like I said before, aces are a gift. Now we're looking at the pentacle, which is grounding and that growth piece. We're really going to feel unstable. And sometimes when we do go back, and going back is a little bit of that inner journey, we can start to feel unstable, which brings in some of these sads and worries because of past situations. Like I said, we need to stay in the high vibration, supportive and loving energy. It's going to be really imperative that not only are we looking at grounding ourselves before we do this, that our energy flow maintains stable. So our chakras are flowing well, that we feel well. When we're not feeling the best to do inner pieces like this and reflecting back on our childhood or on our adolescence and young adulthood, we may find ourselves becoming destabilized. So we're not going to get as much from this reflection than what we should. Making sure that we come from that stable, high vibrational space will really support us in gaining the knowledge that July is offering us. Let's go on to a blessing. What blessing can my air sign zodiac friends embrace in July? Contract. It's the 6th card in the oracle. So we're now starting to see multiple 6s, especially in July. That 6 is going to be imperative. We've got another one up here. Now what the 6 talks about in angel messages is the need to balance our physical and our spiritual selves. Making sure, again, we have that balance. We also need to be, again, very critical. This is the symbol, and this card is very much connected into the Justice card in the Major Arcana, about that right and wrong, that truth. Being very critical about the information that we're going to go receive and retrieve. We don't want those lower vibrational energies to creep up and creep out of hand. We need to be very discerning on what we go in for and what we start to reflect on. When things start to go to those low vibrations, pulling ourselves out, rebalancing, regrounding, and recentering ourselves to get the information that would help our greater good and help to raise our vibration. All right, let's go on to August. What card symbolizes August for my air sign zodiac friends? Okay, we have a couple jumpers. The first one, the World. This is the quintessential ending, party, and beginning card. So the World talks about the importance of ending a piece in our life. So we are looking at this information really kind of taking us to that next chapter piece. Reflecting on, and it's not just only on the past 6 months, but on the past couple years, on all that we've achieved, and then celebrating and getting excited for that next stage. Because let's be honest, we started to purge, we started to do some reflection, we're ready to build up to this manifestation piece. The World also talks about the importance of the foundation. So we have 4 beings here. They're connected in to different aspects of our lives. The important part is going to be that stable foundation, including that connection in to our high vibrational beings, our guardian and guides. With the World, jump the Page of Cups. That childlike, innocent energy. And he has one of the most fantastic hats. It comes with a scarf. His tunic actually has lotus flowers on them. It's a fantastic outfit. That childlike exuberance and excitement and play into our intuition and creativity. He's very much connected into the 2 of Pentacles. He too has that wibbly water. It doesn't matter what's happening on the outside. That outside world could be topsy-turvy. He is so enamored by his intuition and all these skills that he has. He's willing to look at things from a different perspective through that inner child lens. And that inner child lens will really embrace the world's dance here. The world is also known as the dancer. So really you're taking that inquisitive, playful energy to start your next piece. August is really going to give you that ability to dance like nobody's watching. And that's the energy you're really going to feel in August. Let's look at the challenge. What challenge will my air sign zodiac friends face in August? The Ten of Wands. This is the quintessential working harder than you need to card. He can't see where he's going. He's got his crop of wands and he's working his hiney off. Hard work is fantastic and we should do it. However, we need to work more effectively than harder. Asking for help, creating ways that become more efficient so that you can get the task done with less energy. Again, tapping into that intuition, tapping into that collective consciousness so you can work more efficiently. And really, again, going back to that dancer, dance like nobody's watching. That enjoyment, that raising your vibration. Manifestation needs high vibration. High vibration is not that burnt out, exasperated feeling. It's that high vibrational, unconditional, loving, joyous energy. And we can't feel that if we are feeling the burdens of overwork and overexertion. Now we do have multiple tens. We've got the wands, we've got the 10 of pentacles. In angel messages, when we're looking at that multiple 10, this is a time of personal development and spiritual enlightenment, which is very true, especially coming off the 6 of cups there and embracing what the dancer is offering us. Let's look at a blessing. What blessing can my air sign zodiac friends embrace in August? Adjacent possibilities. Literally, when one door opens, you find a room and a hallway with more doors and windows, more opportunities that we had not thought of. Like I said up here, we have such a limited perspective. When we take down our blinders and our very limited belief system and stop micromanaging the universe and open up to those possibilities, that's when pieces and aspects that we didn't even conceive of start to open. And we're going to start to see that shift in August. Like I said, the dancer is indicating that we're looking at celebration of all that we've achieved and excitement for that next step. And that next step has many opportunities and possibilities. Let's go on to September. What card symbolizes September for my air sign zodiac friends? The Queen of Swords. Fantastic card. She has gained all her knowledge through first-hand experience. Similar to us, she has gained it the hard way. And she is really starting to help us see through the clouds, see through this kind of indecision and uncertainty of what the 8 of Cups is bringing us. Re-establish that balance piece. And she's literally cutting through some of these doors for us because we've got that knowledge. September is going to be a time where we're functioning from the head, not the heart. We need to overcome our obstacles. Again, we go back to that critical thinking so that we are able to take that step back and pause, which is an essential skill that we all need to really practice. That pause and reflection. She also, and it can be hard to see, but she has an angel sitting beside her. That connection into that higher vibrational energy so that we can gain some guidance into our decision making and taking ourselves again to that next step, that higher vibration. All right, let's see who dares to oppose the Queen of Swords, because that's not a good idea. She knows how to wield that sword of truth and knowledge, and she's not afraid to do so. So the challenge that you're going to face, the Fool. He's that carefree, innocent energy, very much like the Page, where he trusts in the universe. He has really no plan. He carries all that he needs in his pack. However, he's got that leap of faith attitude. He's really trusting in Gabriel and all the archangels and the universe just to guide him. Whatever happens, happens. That type of energy makes the Queen go to the Ice Queen of rampant and crazy, because there is no plan. She's very, if you will, Vulcan. She needs a plan. She needs to really orientate herself and make sure that things flow properly. That energy of play and carefreeness and naivety will make her skin crawl. And you're going to find, literally in September, so much is going to catch your attention. The Fool's energy is there. So you're going to be fascinated by butterflies, or fascinated by shiny things, fascinated with what's around you. The Queen wants to direct you into the knowledge that will help you kind of end off this year and start into 2021 and help you get that foundation for the next decade. The Fool wants to look at the shinies. So it's about really reining in that naive energy so you can focus in on the task at hand. All right, let's look at a blessing. What blessing can my air sign zodiac friends embrace in September? Woman holding a coin. That feminine nurturing energy that is grounded and again very strong. That prosperity can be felt depending on how much we're able to start to shift and focus in on those important tasks. And these tasks are clearly outlined by those information and guidance that Gabriel and her team sent you. So we know where we need to go. If we started to work on it in this area, we're going to start, and especially with the Queen of Swords, we're going to start to see that prosperity start to come through, especially when we maintain that grounded and stable energy. All right, let's go on to October. What card symbolizes October for my air sign zodiac friends? Ooh, she's pretty. The Queen of Cups. We now have 3 queens. The swords, the cups, and we've got the pentacles over here. That nurturing, divine energy of the feminine spirit is very clear, especially in the fall here. That abundance piece is starting to really come to fruition. Now, in angel messages with these multiple ladies, the queens, they are the 13th card in the minor arcana. When you're looking at that multiple 13, you need to calm your mind, which can be crazy when we've got the Fool, his energy playing around, so that you can clearly receive the intuitive messages and ideas. And again, we go back to Gabriel over here. Now the Queen of Cups, there's only one other card that's more intuitive than her, and that's the High Priestess. That intuition and your intuitive creativity is going to start to really flourish in October, which really embraces that prosperity piece. When we're looking at being creative, it doesn't mean fine arts. Creativity does not equate to that. This is about the pieces that you do in your life to express what is close to you, your emotions, your feelings. The Queen will give you more opportunity and more ideas in doing so. Also, she's going to help you connect in further and deeper with those high vibrational beings, raising your vibration on both levels. When we're able to focus in on that creativity, we're stop micromanaging the universe, and things start to happen. We start to see that manifestation. We start to see those abundant pieces really increase. When we start to connect into those high vibrational beings, we're raising our vibration. And again, we see that manifestation increase. All right, let's see who and what challenges this queen. What challenges will my air sign zodiac friends face in October? The Hanged Man, the 12th card in the Major Arcana, the Let It Go. And it's going to be all those pieces that we do need to let go that are going to stand in our way. That micromanaging aspect and energy is going to start to come up. We are looking at October, so that intuition and connection is going to be really helpful because the veil is thinning. However, we're going to try and micromanage things. We're not going to really embrace that letting go and listening to Gabriel and her messages and the universal guidance. We're going to be trying to get things done because we started to get a taste of this abundance and manifestation. Well, we're going to want more because these are positive pieces. However, when we start to micromanage, we actually reduce and lower our vibration. Now we do have a number of 12s too. We've got the Hanged Man, also the Knight of Swords. Interestingly enough, they are 6 months apart. They mirror each other. In angel messages, when you have that 12, that multiple 12, the angels are telling you that this is a time of spiritual growth and awakening. And it's that awakening piece that's going to be key, because we're going to be able to make some aha moments if we slow down and pay attention to what's really happening throughout the month. All right, let's look at a blessing. What blessing can my air sign zodiac friends embrace in October? Community. What a fantastic card. This talks about, and is very much connected into the Three of Cups, where we're looking at that celebration, that supportive community. Really, again, we're going back into what we saw in May here with that connection piece, that connection to your supportive community. Not only your physical community, but your spiritual one as well. That multifaceted and multi-leveled support will go a long ways as we wrap up the year and head into 2021. All right, let's head into November. What card symbolizes November for my air sign zodiac friends? The Five of Swords. As we're heading up, we just finished the holidays. November starts to really bring in that holiday energy. We're going to start to see conflicting views. November is going to bring you some very challenging obstacles that we're going to need to take that high road, that critical thinking and stepping back. We're going to have to really allow people to be where they're at, so we're not lowering our vibration to meet them and have that verbal confrontation. We need to keep our vibrations high as we start to wrap up the year, and we need to be able to be very mindful of our triggers, because our ego will put out energy that other people will pick up on. Similar to that, when you've got a bad day and you're really struggling, people start to really treat you badly because you're exuding that energy. Being mindful of our triggers and really embracing our abilities and skills. We've got them. We've got amazing ones. Using that critical thinking to think about how it's being triggered, why it's being triggered. Taking those moments and those breaths help us from exploding and then having more consequences and obstacles to overcome. Then being able to make some positive, high vibrational choices for you. All right, let's look at the obstacle. Although, let's be honest, the Five of Swords is an obstacle in itself. But what obstacle will my air sign zodiac friends face in November? And we do have multiple fives. We've got the pentacles over here and then the swords. When you see that multiple five, the angels are actually telling you that a positive change is coming. We're really going to reinforce some of our coping mechanisms and strategies, some of them that we picked up here, so that we can start to raise that vibration and make those positive changes in our lives. And then the Four of Pentacles, that foundational stability is really going to give us a bit of a challenge. We're going to feel a little bit topsy-turvy. This energy is really going to come in your face, which is going to destabilize us. We're going to feel some pinch. Depending on how low of a vibration we go to and how much we respond to November will really depend on whether or not we get a bit of a hit in the financial aspect as well. Because again, we started to see that manifestation and abundance come in here. We lower our vibration and we may see it reduce, and we may see some shifts in that as well. It depends on how we're able to take the information of the Five of Swords and keep and maintain our vibrations high. All right, let's look at a blessing for November. What can my air sign zodiac friends embrace for November? Yin and yang. Balance is going to be key. Now we do have multiple twos. This is actually the 22nd card. We have the Two of Wands. We've got the Two of Cups. Multiple twos in angel messages are telling you to keep your faith. More importantly, and most importantly, listen to your intuition. That will help guide you. Your higher vibrational beings can see through this quite easily and help get you to the other side with those positive, high vibrational choices. And finally, December. What card symbolizes December for my air sign zodiac friends? Oh, what a fantastic card to end on. The Empress. She's fantastic. I love her. This is the Mother Earth goddess. She offers us abundance and fertility. We're really seeing the 31 appear in the Empress. In December, we have that ability to tap in to that fertile energy. So those who are looking to have children, December is a fantastic month to try and work on that goal and task. December will also offer everyone the ability for new ideas and new projects to start to come up and start to resonate with you. Again, focusing back on that creative intuition that we've got over here. That abundance piece will be well known in December. And it's not just because we have Christmas. It's that, like I said, this door is much more than that abundance piece of monetary value. There's going to be abundance in other aspects of our lives. That balancing piece and all facets of our life will really come true in December. All right, on to the challenge. What challenge will my air sign zodiac friends face in December? Strength. She's the 8th card in the Major Arcana. She uses her talents and abilities to not only calm and appease the lion, that inner beast. He is enamored with her. He's not trying to eat or bite her. He's trying to lick her. Similar to a puppy when he's being scolded or bathed. He'll lick you saying, I still love you. I love you loads. That's what the lion is doing. She's using her inner abilities and strengths to make magic happen. The impossible seem possible. She's got an infinity symbol above her head. That's that connection into the universe. What our biggest challenge for December is going to be is believing in our abilities, believing in our strengths, believing in what we can achieve. our ego is going to tell us we can't. Because our ego doesn't want this fertile, abundant growth. It wants you to stay in the same box. So that self-doubt and self-loathing will really come up in December. Let's look at a blessing. What blessing can my air sign zodiac friends embrace in December? Victory. Focusing your eye on the prize, on all that you've achieved, not only in December, but throughout the year, and all that abundance you've been able to create and manifest in your life. That will help you overcome those self-doubt and self-loathing. When your ego says you can't, you can say, yeah, but look what I did. Look at this abundance. Look at this manifestation. Look at all that I've created in my life. You can start off, ego. I'm going to keep going with what I know I'm good at. So my air sign zodiac friends, this is a map of the next 12 months. At any given time, we can make shifts and changes to this. A gift to humanity was free will. It can change. Mapping sessions help to see where we've shifted or may have made some choices that de-aligned and took us off on a different tangent. Also, in different times and aspects of the year, we're dealing with people. And the greatest thing about people, they too have free choice and free will. So their decisions can impact positively or negatively this map. So free will and choice is a gift and sometimes a curse for forward planning and for our decision making. Now, if you're interested in doing a session like this with me, I do these sessions often, especially in January with my clients. I've provided a helpful link below to schedule a private reading with myself, and you can schedule a session and we can look at doing some mapping together. I hope that you really enjoyed this video and that you're able to gain some insight and direction into what 2020 is going to hold for you. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. I've been getting a lot of information coming through from the high vibrational beings on what more I need to add into my channel, and it's going to be amazing. The best way to stay connected to this new and amazing is through subscribing to my channel and hitting that little red bell. That way you're not going to miss any of the guidance and healing that they're offering. Also, if you enjoyed this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page with many tiers and lots of perks. In some of the tiers, the perks are private readings with myself. I provided a helpful link below, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius friends,